for vi tänkte tänka vad du sen ens av kallarna.
Yo, today is September 5th, 2016. Oh, I think I have this playing in the background. Sorry about that. Today is September 5th, 2022. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover the news, culture, memetic warfare. We will show you why only Bitcoin can give you true financial sovereignty. It's the Labor Day special. We got an awesome show lined up. But first, I want to give a shout out to our awesome guest. How you doing, Shay?
Good, Nico. Great to see you.
Likewise. Shay is actually the organizer of the Bitcoin Miami meetup.
Yeah, coming up soon. We do it every month.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest and best Bitcoin meetup in Miami. Definitely recommend it if you're in Miami for sure. We'll put Shay's account in the Twitter promo tweet. But anyways, I also want to give a shout out to my legendary co-host. How you doing, Opti?
What's up, Nico? What's up, Shay? Actually, not feeling that great today, but can't stop the signal, so we show up. It's Labor Day. My first Labor Day as a Bitcoin content creator, so I ain't gonna stop. Last year was digging ditches. This year, I'm able to provide content for you guys, so you can't stop the signal, man. I feel blessed. And of course, in the culture, we dropped an epic article today called Awaken the Lion. And when I read the draft over the weekend, I literally shed a tear. And so I want to continue to push this message because I think it's a very important message. So that's what we're going to cover today, Nico.
Hell yeah. Awaken the Lion. I'm super excited. On the news, we're going to cover the breaking news that actually came out this morning. I changed the title of the video because of how consequential it was. Russia followed the footsteps of Iran, and they declared, at least definitely more than they declared before, that they're going to follow Iran and use Bitcoin to facilitate international trade. We're going to get into the ramifications of that, what all of that means, the game theory, all of that good stuff. But first, let's get to the numbers. Number time. Brought to you by NODL. They make some of the best Bitcoin nodes. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. Remember, guys, if you don't run your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. And if you're a digital nomad, you have no excuse because now you could run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right. At the time of this recording, the Bitcoin price is at 19,890 sats per dollar, also known as Moscow time, 5,028 block height, 752,752 reachable Bitcoin nodes, 13,541 blocks of the halvening, 87,248 halving estimate, April 22nd, 2024, total Lightning Network capacity, 4,681 Bitcoin, capacity value, 93.1 million, realized monetary inflation 1.78%, market capitalization $380 billion. Bitcoin is a baby. Today I want to cover is actually funny because someone posted this on Twitter. Oh, wrong page. Someone posted this tweet by Christine Lagarde. It was from the IMF, and basically she was making the case that hey, there was going to be no inflation, and then that led me, or at least it inspired me to actually go back in the past and kind of connect the dots with the other people that said there was going to be no inflation. So not only was it Christine Lagarde gaslighting this, but it was also Janet Yellen as well. And it's getting really bad. Look at the UK. The UK's recent inflation numbers, it's at 10.1%, already double digits. In Europe, the inflation rate is 9.1%. Now, a question that I have for you guys in the chat, right, was this incompetence, or was this just they've bought so hard into the idea of modern monetary theory that they just don't know. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but I can tell you this. On the original European Central Bank tweet. It got something like 300 likes, right? And then a Bitcoiner changed the video of Christine Lagarde. He added some effects. I'm about to play it for you. And that tweet got 1,000 likes, right? And this is the narrative trench warfare on the internet that we talk about, right? Our memes are better. Our truth is better than theirs. They don't function on truth. If they were functioning on truth, then they wouldn't have told everybody that there was going to be no inflation. And when there was inflation, they gaslit every one of us, and they told us it's the supply chains, it's Putin, it's this, it's that. But the last thing that they blamed was the money printer. The last thing that they blamed is the fact that they printed a record amount of money. They never mentioned that. Anyways, let's check out this video of Christine Lagarde.
An inflation profile, which looks like a hump. So it does clearly increased over the last 3 quarters. And we know how painful it is. We know that, life is more expensive as a result, particularly for those people who have low income and who are more exposed to prices rising, particularly when, you fill up the tank. But we see it as a hump, and a hump eventually declines. And this is what we project for 22, that inflation will decline over the course of 22.
She fucking lied. She lied. Okay. Inflation right now in Europe is 9.1%. Not to mention that conveniently, when they calculate these numbers, they leave out the 2 most expensive things, which is energy and food. And we all know what the energy crisis in Europe is doing to the prices over there. So I say, look, I don't want to say incompetence. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. They have no choice but to lie, because if they told everybody the truth, there would literally be a revolution the next day. So they just lie, and they hope that there's enough low information people out there that they just buy their bullshit, So anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Christine Lagarde's a liar. We all know this. Like, you can't trust anything she says. But furthermore, I really loved whoever put the clown nose on that video, because it really just makes the point even better. And just to answer your question, in my opinion, of course, I'm the in-house truther, so take what I say as a grain of salt. Tanika will come with the receipts, but this is all planned, in my opinion. This controlled demolition of the energy sector in Europe is like, it just, in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense that this level of incompetence. Like, they have to have known what was going to be. And it's like Nico said in the past, like, they literally are trying to kill people off, and this winter is going to be rough out there in Europe. And it's like, it's hard not to look at all this stuff and then, for one, know that they're lying, and then 2, not see this as more than just incompetence. Like, they have to know that what they're doing is detrimental to Europe and the world at large. Like, this is absolutely crazy that we can even debate this. Is like, I know Nico says all the time, like, you can't just rely on saying that there's evil people out there doing evil things, but man, it sure does seem like they are planning to do evil things out there. Like, I don't see it as incompetence. To me, this is planned, controlled demolition. Convince me otherwise, Nico.
Dude, I mean, it's so many coincidences, and I actually tweeted this out. I said to kind of add to what you were saying, right? I said, Europe's energy prices continue to surge, but they keep sanctions against Russia in place and continue to shut down nuclear energy plants. I said exactly what you said, Opti. Hard to believe this is just incompetence, right? And whether that's them gaslighting us about inflation, them changing the definition of a recession, like, dude, like, this is crazy. And I'm going to get to why governments are able to do this in a sec during the news. But anyways, I want to get Shay, what are your thoughts?
Well, on one hand, I think that, they are trying to kill us off. But on the other hand, I think, like, who's going to eat the bugs if they kill everybody, So
it's true.
I'm a little bit divided on that one.
It's true. Who's going to eat the bugs if they kill everybody?
They'll make Soylent Green. They'll eat the humans.
I don't even feel bad anymore, because even Shay is even in the loop about the bugs, right? Like, holy crap, everyone knows about the bugs. And it's funny because they tried to delete the pages after the fact off the internet. Buy
Even
Bitcoin.
Shay, is that like to say that boomers can't know about Bitcoin?
No,
Oh,
it
not a
just
boomer yet.
surprises me that you're in the loop about, the great reset and all the things that the party of Davos, the
Well,
World
he's a
Economic
Bitcoiner,
Forum wants
Nico.
for everybody. It's true. I think are all Bitcoiners this based, bro?
Most,
Well, did you
not
see
all,
the
most.
Did you see the new what is it? Prime Minister of the UK is a World Economic Forum person. So
They've captured the cabinets. It's
yeah,
confirmed. It's confirmed. Anyways, all right, let's get to the news. Big news today. Let's do it. Daily news. Brought to you by CryptoCloaks.com. They make some of the best 3D printed Bitcoin merch, from node cases to key rings to the vents on the back of your ASIC for air management, and of course, the famous 3D printed Bitcoin grenade toy, which comes in any custom color your heart desires. You want it in gold? They make it in gold. And you can take advantage of the promo code down below to get 5% off CryptoCloaks.com. All right. So this is breaking news from this morning. Bank of Russia agrees to legalize crypto for cross-border payments. The Bank of Russia, the country's central bank, has reportedly admitted that cross-border payments in crypto are inevitable in the current geopolitical conditions. What do they mean by that? Current geopolitical conditions. Remember, guys, the US dollar is the global reserve currency, and that gives the US government tremendous amount of power before Bitcoin to weaponize the US dollar to go after governments the US government doesn't see eye to eye. Remember, because it's the global reserve currency, even countries that are not the United States, let's say Brazil, wanted to buy oil from Argentina, that trade would be facilitated. It will be done in US dollars, right? And that gives the US government tremendous amount of power. Deputy Finance Minister Moisiev reportedly said that the Bank of Russia and the finance minister expected to legitimize cross-border payments in crypto soon. Moisiev outlined the importance of enabling crypto services in Russia. To quote him, he says, "It is necessary to do this in Russia, involving entities supervised by the central bank, which are obliged to comply," well, here it is again, "anti-money laundering and know your customer requirements." Russian lawmakers have been historically opposed to the idea of using cryptocurrencies as a payment method. In 2020, Russia adopted a major crypto law on digital financial assets, which officially prohibited the use of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin for payment purposes. But of course, like Jamie Dimon, like Larry Fink of BlackRock, of JP Morgan, everyone eventually bows down to the king. Why is that? The incentives. For Jamie Dimon, for Larry Fink, it's the profit incentive. It's the fear of missing out on clients, right, that leave those institutions because they want exposure to Bitcoin. So their hands are forced. Now, in the case of Russia, the reason that they're just changing their tune about this is because they've realized that they can't rely on the legacy system of which the United States controls. That gives the United States too much power. So what are they doing? They're trying to find an alternative. Remember what we always say, Bitcoin is the money of enemies. Bitcoin is a neutral monetary network. It doesn't care who you are, what you've done, where you come from. You could use Bitcoin. The Bank of Russia has been skeptical about the idea of cryptocurrency payments because it wanted to protect the Russian ruble as the only legal tender in the country. The situation has apparently changed amid Western economic sanctions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In May, the Ministry of Industry and Trade declared that Russia would legalize crypto payments sooner or later. Bank of Russia Governor, oh man, these names, also later suggested that crypto could be used for cross-border payments, but only if crypto doesn't get into Russia's domestic financial system. According to Moisiev, the central bank has recognized its approach to regulating the industry. Given that the situation has changed, he added that the planned infrastructure is too rigid for the use of cryptocurrencies in cross-border settlements, which we will certainly must legalize somehow, he concluded, right? So the situation in Russia is providing the necessary incentive for the powers that be to think, hey, we could use Bitcoin, but we're just going to use Bitcoin to facilitate trade, but we're going to separate the freedom out of it. We're going to take away the freedom. We're going to take away the ability of Bitcoin to give people financial sovereignty because we don't stand to benefit from that. They even said it themselves, right? But because we're in a pickle, we're forced to use Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to make the case why this is a Trojan horse, Why once you take the orange pill, once a country takes the orange pill, it's impossible to go back, and I'll go back to it in a second. But first, I wanted to say this. It's inevitable that they're going to use this news as a way of claiming Bitcoin is going to be used to circumvent US and European sanction policy. Don't debate them on their terms. The real question, Anon, is how does this sanction policy help you, the individual? I have no idea. Europeans are paying a heavy price to enforce these sanctions because they buy a large percent of their natural gas from Russia. Energy prices in Russia and Europe are going parabolic. When European politicians were warned about it from Trump, out of all people, they laughed about it. Let me play you the video.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers. It has been the formal policy of our country since President Monroe.
That's right. They were fucking laughing. For our audio listeners, they were laughing at the end. They were laughing at Trump. You know what happened? Put Trump aside. I don't care about the politics. He was actually absolutely spot on. And now they're in a pickle. But the question is, who do these governments really work for? Obviously themselves. Sanctions work for them, not for you. The money printer has completely taken away their incentive to actually provide value. Therefore, why would they care what you think? They still get paid regardless. And this is why exactly we must separate money from state. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Nico, holy crap. But Russia, man, they're terrible people. Putin invading Ukraine. Yes, Bitcoin fixes that too. Here's an awesome article by Alex Gladstein. The name of the article is Bitcoin is a Trojan horse for freedom. It goes on to say, the meme begins with wealthy individuals, corporations, and soon governments, right? This was written in 2021. It's already happening, which see Bitcoin as glittering digital gold. Out of self-preservation and greed, they're incentivized to buy, mine, and one day tax this new prize to accumulate the soundest money and gain an advantage over their rivals. Bitcoin does, after all, on its exterior, look very appealing. It is the best performing financial asset in the world over the last 12 years. But Bitcoin is not just number go up technology. Hidden behind the eye-popping, powerful freedom go-up technology that its new adopters are, knowingly or not, pushing forward. NGU and FGU are inextricable. Bitcoin gives anyone, regardless of their nationality, status, wealth, gender, race, or beliefs, access to the best savings technologies on the planet. It also gives them unstoppable, programmable money that cannot be debased or censored, and that fights surveillance and confiscation. Of course, governments and corporations will try to hijack Bitcoin for their own ends. Some are. Connect this with Russia. All right, I'm going to get to it in a second. The ancient Greeks and Romans would appreciate the irony of megacorps and governments willingly and even enthusiastically letting the one thing that can erode their growing power into their city gates. Number go up technology is a hell of a drug. Bitcoin has succeeded so far by hiding behind its strangeness. Just as the Trojans were baffled by the monstrous horse standing outside their city gates, the establishment has balked at Bitcoin. Even today, in April 2021, virtually all top economists, political scientists, diplomats, central bankers still dismiss as Bitcoin as something that will not work or not worth their time. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the last part. This was only 2021, and now things already changed. Political scientists changed, diplomats, central bankers. The Central Bank of Russia just admitted, holy crap, Bitcoin, right? It's only been a year. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to connect it with Russia. It says authoritarian regimes will inevitably want to stack sats. Some already found Bitcoin a helpful tool to escape sanctions, including Venezuela, Iran, North Korea. Add Russia to that list. But over time, the officials tasked with spending Bitcoin will learn what it is. Money the government cannot control, and they will share the knowledge with others, trickling it down through society. Just like Trojan horse computer viruses, Bitcoin will infect authoritarian regimes, appearing helpful at first, but proving debilitating over time. So a lot of things to unpack here, right? First thing to unpack, absolutely crazy. And this is why. You want to know why the Treasury issued sanctions against an open source technology, and I'm talking about Tornado Cash. This is why. This is why, because they're scared that Iran, Russia is going to use Bitcoin to circumvent U.S. sanctions and then proving U.S. sanctions futile, right? And at the end of the day, what did you expect these countries to do but not try to find a solution? The moment that the United States weaponized the US dollar, this was always going to happen. Now, politicians like Elizabeth Warren are going to use this as an attack vector, but don't debate them on their terms. The real question that you have to be asking is, do I benefit from sanctions as an individual? Do they really cause regime change? Because that's how they sell it to us. Look at Europe. Europe sanctioned Russia, and now they're having an energy crisis. Do the people in Europe benefit from a war on the eastern border of Ukraine? You that live thousands of miles away, do you benefit from a war on the eastern border of Ukraine? Just a question. So don't try to debate them on the sanction thing, whether Bitcoin is compatible with the US sanctions. Now, the other component, right, is you're seeing Bitcoin's game theory at play. The incentives of Bitcoin are being played out on a massive geopolitical scale, of which a year ago or 2 years ago was unbelievable. And the reason I'm saying that is, guys, you are so freaking early. However, we are living through the separation of money and state, and the state is going to try everything and anything to try to maintain power. And the way that you protect yourself as an individual is by taking Bitcoin into self-custody, and don't stop stacking. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, we knew that this was always going to be inevitable. As Nico just said, Bitcoin game theory is playing out in real time. And we've said for a while on the show, like, it's only a matter of time until nation states other than El Salvador realize that Bitcoin incentives just stay winning, that, you can't ban yourself from Bitcoin. You can only ban people using Bitcoin. So Bitcoin just routes around everything. And this is just a matter of time until more people wake up to the idea of freedom money. But there was one caveat. I looked into the source of the Russian news, and I really loved how they framed it, or how you framed it, Nico, of take away the freedom aspects of the money, and they're trying to, keep it under their control. But Honey Badger just doesn't care. So as you said, it is a Trojan horse, and as more people start using Bitcoin in their nations, then people will understand the freedom aspects of Bitcoin. As number goes up, freedom goes up. But also, that one clip you played of Trump and then the German representatives laughing, like, oh my God, the hubris of these people, it's absolutely insane. And now we see they're having incredible energy, problems over there in Germany, and it's nuts, man. Again, it's hard to see this and think that it's just purely incompetence. There is, I am caveat, I am the in-house truther, so there does seem to be some conspiracies playing out there, and some, it's hard not to see all this stuff and wonder exactly who's pulling the strings and for what reasons. But this is a Bitcoin show, so, Bitcoin is a Trojan horse, guys. Like, everyone will soon understand the Bitcoin game theory, and they will start to stack sats. They will start to use Bitcoin because Bitcoin is freedom money. Like, you can't stop Bitcoin. It'll just route around the legacy system, and this is a feature, not a bug. So, again, Bitcoin stays winning, and Bitcoin incentives are just too good. So everyone will soon become a Bitcoiner. There's 7 billion pre-coiners out there. So it's only a matter of time until everyone is on the Bitcoin standard.
Boom, boom. Horn that, bro. Horn that. That deserves horns. Anyways, Shay, what are your thoughts on this? I feel so happy that you said what you said in the beginning, because now that Opti dropped his truth, I don't feel bad, and I don't have to try to clean it up. Now we're on the same page, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, I knew we were on the same page for a long time. It's just funny that the U.S. basically bans other nations from using our currency, and we can only hope that they don't go to Ripple, instead of Bitcoin. But yeah, it's inevitable. I mean, people are going to use Bitcoin to get around these things, and these economic sanctions don't work. They never have. I mean, how many decades has the Fidel family been in power in Cuba. They're the most sanctioned country in the world.
Yeah, and I think Shay, you really hit the nail on the head, right? If sanctions did what they said they were going to do, right? All those governments, whether it's the Fidels in Cuba, whether it's the Kims in North Korea, they wouldn't be in power anymore. But in fact, it's just made them stronger. And who do these sanctions actually hurt? The people of those countries, the people of Cuba, the people of North Korea, right? Because and look at the example with Afghanistan. The first thing that the United States did when they pulled out of Afghanistan is cut Afghanistan from the global financial system. You know what the only thing that was still working there was? Bitcoin. You know what the Taliban, you know how effective it was too? You know what the Taliban did a couple weeks ago, which we reported on the show? They banned Bitcoin in the country. That's how you know how effective this thing is. So yeah, man, it's like what we should really be questioning is not if Bitcoin is compatible with the US financial system, is are sanctions even working the way that they're supposed to be working? Who are they really helping? My argument to that, and look at Europe as an example. They're helping the bureaucrats that have the money printer, so they're sure they're going to get paid, but everybody else gets fucking rugged. Separate the money from state. If you separate the money from state, governments would not be able to shut down. They would not be able to do these sanctions because then they would impoverish themselves in the fucking process, right? So anyways, lots of injustice, but Bitcoin's going to fix this. Anyways, Opti, let's check out the culture. Daily Culture. Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. Swan incentivizes self-custody, and they also incentivize dollar cost averaging. Spread out that risk. Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, before we get to the culture, I want to give a shout out to Pacific Bitcoin. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on the West Coast, November 10th through the 11th, Los Angeles, California. Speaker list includes Corey Clipston, Lynn Alden, Dylan LeClaire, Jeff Booth, Pierre Richard, Eric Kassan, Mark Moss, Alex Gladstein, Parker Lewis, Dr. Jeff Ross. That's right, Nico's on there as well. You could take advantage of the promo code SIMPLY to get a discount on your Pacific Bitcoin ticket.
All right, guys. Well, today I am going to plug one of our articles because it really hit me in the feels, and it really, like, I think this is the message that more people need to hear. So, of course, guys, I've been on this narrative lately of just how incredible we have gotten to this point where most people are just brainwashed to a point where they can't think for themselves, where they're just biting everything that the powers that be are feeding them, hook, line, and sinker. And everyone is mentally weak out there, except for the few out here that I'd call you guys out here that have woken up to the game, that escaped the matrix. And as this is titled, Awaken the Lion. And the reason I wanted to plug this is because last week, when we saw this Joe Biden speech that made the noise all around Twitter, it was very evident to me just how bad the propaganda has gotten and how far down the fascist rabbit hole we have gotten to, where the powers that be think that this was a good speech to put out there. Like all of the symbolism of it is absolutely insane, that we've gotten the powers that be to overstep their boundary this far. Like it was really a moment where Nico had to sit me down. He's like, yo, this is why I watch what I watch, because I knew this was going to go down for a while. And I'm like, all right, bet, like I got it. But anyways, let's get into some of these points in the article. And guys, you really need to read this whole thing and click on all the links, because our boy Zach is killing it. And when I read this, when I was doing the drafts, making sure that I got the thumbnails ready, I literally shed a tear of just like, yo, I knew that this is the signal we need to put out there, and that this is the conviction levels that I believe you need to have out there, because we are in a World War III right now. It's an information war, and you guys are on the front line. It's a monetary war, and you guys need to be prepared, mentally prepared to withstand what is going on, because we've devolved so far down the tyrannical rabbit hole, the authoritarian rabbit hole, that it's only going to take a concerted effort of individuals that are just tired and fed up of the bullshit. And I believe we're getting to that tipping point now. How much more do we have to go before the masses all wake up? I don't know, but I believe in the idea of the intolerant minority. And the United States was created by a small handful of men that just didn't give a fuck anymore, and they just put their heels in and changed the world. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but there's some great points in here that we need to cover. So awaken the lion. And the first one is, wake up, you stupid peasant. You've got gaslit big time. You're literally under a mass psychosis hypnosis and you don't even know it. And this was one of the defining moments that I had over the weekend watching this Joe Biden speech. It's like, we have really been brainwashed to such an extent. And I was having conversations with my friends. It's like, it's really amazing how over the top the brainwashing has become. And furthermore, how weak people are mentally out there. And I tell Nico all the time, like, fix your mind and your ass will follow it. And he's always telling me like, yo, bro, like, you're going to do well in life because your mind is right. And this is what I tell everyone that I meet is like, you need to fix your mind first and then everything else will follow. Be fit mentally, be fit physically, and you can be fit spiritually. And this is what we're doing here, guys. The money, we say it all the time, fix the money, fix the world. Well, once you find Bitcoin, once you get on that Bitcoin Zen, you're able to, audit yourself, meditate on who you are, and eliminate all the noise, eliminate all the negativity in your life, and start to create your life into something that you can be proud of, because the news anchors are not your friends, are not your friends, and the celebrities damn sure are not your friends, guys. They are brainwashing you out there in legacy media, and if you're not aware of it, the propaganda is going deep, and people are freaking mentally children out there. Like, everyone is so weak in the brain right now. It's absolutely insane. I say it all the time, it's reels before feels, but everyone in the world right now is feels before reels. And as Zach put it here, like, we are not interested in the sheep. Like, we don't need the sheep. We need lions out there, guys. We need the guardians of the galaxies. We need the remnant. The enemy is at the gates, and we got to shut that shit down for once and for all. So if you're ready to ride, mount up and let's go, guys. I fundamentally believe that we are in such a defining moment right now in the world that you don't have the luxury to bullshit anymore. Like, it is now or never. And I know people say like, oh, we have more than one chance. But fundamentally, I think that now is the most important time. You need to stand up for what you believe in. I say it all the time. The only ideas that matter are the ones that you're willing to fight for. And so I think we're at this point now where if you're upset about stuff in what's going on in society, like, stand up and say something about it, because being a Bitcoiner is one thing, but if you're not telling people about the solutions out there, then what are you really doing? And I have this view right here. Look, I put my tweet up here. It's like militant positivity. I read this article, and this is the thought that came to me is, guys, we need to be so damn strong in our messaging and our optimism about the future that no one can fight what we're saying, because people need hope out there. And I know it's hard to try to get into the mind of the collectivists and try to incept ideas, but I'm on this messaging of like, look, you can't just orange pill your friends. You got to orange pill your enemy as well, because people need to understand what is going on. And it's not up to you guys. Like, I've put it on myself personally that this is what I'm here to do, is I'm here to orange pill anyone that will listen, and even those that don't listen. This is why I'm Saint Opti the Truth Teller on Twitter, because I've taken this up as my crusade of, yo, I am here to spread the truth as far as possible, because this is a defining moment in our times. It's like, if we don't stand up for this now, then we can be in for a freaking bad time for the rest of humanity. So if you're keeping score, we got those thieving central bankers numbers. We got them dead to rights. Bitcoin is going to eat their lunch, but that's a problem, bro. Like, it's not just the central bankers that are going to get wrecked. The shareholders of the central bankers are the shareholders of the largest corporations. And so, guys, we say all the time, Bitcoin is playing for all the marbles. So if we succeed in what we're doing, the fiat system will collapse, and the powers that be are going to scramble for power. And I think this is where we're at right now. And I think you guys can feel that, because the messaging is getting worse, and people are noticing how crazy it is getting out there. So Bitcoin is definitely the I don't give a shit, I'm a badass crazy honey badger, and the globalist politicians are stinging the shit out of the honey badger, trying to keep their sweet money printing honeycomb for themselves. This is why you're seeing all this narratives going against Bitcoin, because we are winning this and we are playing for all the marbles, and they know that we know what is going on, guys. So this is not times to take a day off. Look, I'm sweating because I'm fighting a cold, but I realize like you can't stop the signal, and that's just why we're showing up on Labor Day, to continue to give you guys a signal, because I fundamentally believe this is a defining moment in humanity. And if you're here as a Bitcoiner, like you were born to be here, because shit is crazy, and we've been, you know, docile for so long. We live in such a weak society that we have been formed into strong men, not by choice, but just by circumstance. And the circumstance is that on one hand, if they shut down the open source monetary revolution, aka Bitcoin, and the dystopian CBDC horrors that you couldn't imagine will fill this world, then we are so fucking wrecked that I wouldn't want to be in this world. Hence why we fucking show up every day and tell you guys that Bitcoin is the way, and you need to take this as me and Nico have been saying, you know, Bitcoin revolutionaries out there, because we are changing the world, and it is a monetary revolution. Because on the other hand, and the open source monetary revolution dissolves the kleptocracy into oblivion forever. And you got a front row seat to this action, and you got a big decision to make, my fellow lions. You either stand up to the bullshit, or you get fucking wrecked and your family becomes enslaved forever. Like, it's up to you guys to stand up and to be a fucking legend in your own right. Stop eating the bullshit. It is Labor Day, and this is, you know, one of the days of, like, there's so many hardworking plebs out there, and this is the stuff that gets me excited. It's like the hardworking plebs out there, hardworking Bitcoiners, are the ones that are going to change this world. And personally, as Zach wrote here, like, it's a simple choice, really. If you have a spine and a functioning brain, like, I understand not everyone has that, but it's a simple choice. The path of legend is not well worn for a reason. Not all names are remembered. Not everyone is relegated to the fate of savior of mankind, but some of you are, and you know who you are. You can feel that fire of yours burning hotter now, that undying light of hope that no amount of darkness can extinguish. It burns brighter now, knowing there are others like you, ready, willing, and able to stand shoulder to shoulder with your fellow guardians to carry the weight of the world. If that's what it takes, then that's what shall be done. Death arrives for us all. The difference, my friend, is how we live. So let's get to work. If it's war they want, then war we shall give them, guys. And we say it all the time, Bitcoin is a peaceful revolution, but you're gonna have to stand up for something. And I think now is the time to stand up for what you believe in, because your enemies out there, the central bankers, the politicians, they aren't taking a break, and they are doing everything they can to make you fucking poor, desolate, starving, and freezing. And I don't know about you, but if they're trying to attack us like this, then I know that we are winning. We are way more powerful. And you got to understand what your power is here, guys. It's like they can probe for weaknesses. They can attack self-custody. They can attack the asset through fraudulent tax evasion cases. They can try to KYC you. They can attack the network through internet outages. And they can try to attack the code with developers, trying to insert tail emissions. You see the attacks out there, and you know what's going on. But those attacks have and will continue to come, and they are just probes and prods. The central banking enemy is searching for weakness, but every time they probe, they make Bitcoin stronger. They make you stronger. I say it all the time, pressure builds diamonds, and some people just aren't built for it. Some people crumble under the weight. But if you're here listening, if you're here on the front lines, I fundamentally believe you have something inside you that woke up and wants to fight for what is right and for what you know to be true, and fight for freedom. And this is what we do here. This is what Bitcoin is. And so, are you strengthening Bitcoin, bro? Like, are you strengthening your self-custody setup? Are you strengthening your node setup? Are you strengthening your communications and your verified Bitcoin network? Or are you strengthening your see? It's like, we don't win because these techniques are available. We win because we are already using these tools and helping other less technical friends and family utilize these tools, guys. Like, this is the crux of this whole article right here. Get out of the mindset that you have no control over the outcome of this open source monetary revolution. You are the force for this change. We say it all the time. Bitcoin is a revolution of the individual. Take your fucking life back. Take your power back. And furthermore, help other people take their powers back. Like, spark Spark the idea that you can become a human again. You don't have to eat the shit. You don't have to be a fiat slave. It's precisely because of honest, humble, thoughtful, and well-intentioned people like yourself that will lead us to a world of an open, global, permissionless, uncensorable monetary monopoly revolution. You are the change this world needs. Act like it. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. Awaken the lion. Let's fucking go. Guys, it is Labor Day today, and it's only fitting that this is the message that I wanted to put out there, because it's up to the average person out there, the hardworking individual, to just say, look, I've had enough of this. And until we get to that point where more people stand up, then we're just going to continue to eat the shit. But as this title is called, Awaken the Lion Within. And I know a lot of you guys have awakened the lion within because you're a Bitcoiner, you're on the front lines. But part of that awakening the lion within is building a tribe of badass motherfuckers around you so that we can continue to fight and continue to tell these fucking parasites to go fuck themselves. Nico, I apologize. I went a little ham. I cussed a little more. I'm sweating. I'm fighting through this sickness. But this is the stuff that gets me excited, bro. Like, people need to realize that the powers that be have made you a freaking child mentally. There's a word, it's called menticide. They literally have killed your mind, and you got to take back your mind. Fix your mind and your ass will follow. First and foremost, it starts with your thinking, guys. So continue to think positive thoughts. As I put over here, militant positivity, guys. This is the vibe I'm on. Continue to be positive in the face of all this, all these obstacles, and be militant about it, guys. Like, this is a peaceful revolution, but stop taking the shit, man. Build something that you can be proud of and be a badass. Awaken the lion within, man. Find the hunger within you. I know you have it. I know you feel it. Now lean into it and let your intuition lead. Rant over.
Boom, boom, boom. That's what I got to say about that. That was the culture. That was the culture. You just heard the culture. It was all right there. Opti, that was one of the best monologues, rants you've ever did. There was people in the comments saying, did Opti prepare that speech? Nah, bro. That was off the cuff. That's right, man. That was awesome. Guys, if you want more of that awesome work, check out Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered. It's the written version of this show. We have awesome writers. We have Weinekiss. We have Zach. We have fucking Rustin. Rustin's about to release a new show type too. I think you guys are going to like it. We have it. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's coming soon. Anyways, if you want to go check out more of that, visit www.simplybitcoin.news. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you a dime. Shay, being a Bitcoin boomer yourself, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like a lion?
I think
now I do. You got me pumped up. That was awesome. Sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah, that was great.
Yep.
That was beautiful. I feel like a lion now. I'm ready to go dominate the world. So thank you.
So Shay, from your perspective, of course, it does fall to the younger generation to do this kind of, weird type of warfare that, came out. This weird type of narrative warfare that we're experiencing, it falls more so to our generation. But how do you see it from the older generations? How do you see Bitcoin?
Thanks for calling me old again, Nico. I appreciate that. But it's one thing that I try to bring to our Bitcoin meetups is some pre-coiners, some finance people, some banking people, some normal people that are not plebs, and bring them in contact with the plebs, which are the coolest people that I know. And it makes for a good mix, and sooner or later they get to understand, and they'll leave the matrix.
Hell yeah. So I thought you were a Gen Xer, and then you exposed yourself to be a boomer. So that's why I know.
I'm definitely a Gen Xer.
No, but I'm actually serious. You look great, Shay. But I appreciate that input. It does fall on all of us, I guess. And guys, like I said, if you're ever in Miami, you definitely want to go to Shay's Miami Bitcoiners meetup. It's freaking awesome. I've done a panel. I know a couple well-known Bitcoiners have also done a panel as well. Definitely want to go make it. I was going to make the one that Shay's coming up, but I couldn't make it because I'm still in Puerto Rico. So I was like, Shay, why don't you come on the show to talk about the panel? So why don't you say a couple words about the Miami Bitcoin meetup?
Yeah, it all started with Don Chenot, and he's the one that started it, and we were getting together in a parking lot in near Rickle, and it was a great time. However, once he left, he's like, "Hey, can you help me out with this?" And I was like, "Sure." So we started gathering in the parking lot and eating at the food trucks, which was nice. But I would notice that a lot of shitcoiners would come there and talk about their shitcoins, and we kind of lost the narrative. It just wasn't good enough. So we started doing educational panels. I've interviewed you. I've interviewed John Burnett, who's the owner of Tequiza Tacos here in Miami. They've been accepting Bitcoin for a long time. He's great on privacy, so I interviewed him on some privacy stuff. Lynn Ulbrich, unfortunately, her son is going through a very difficult time in jail. We need to get him out. Free Ross. And several others. BJ Dichter from the Canadian Truckers. We just, I try to bring in economists, and we had Stephen Lupka last month, along with Jessica Hoddle. And just some great people to bring in different perspectives on the educational front, and then we have plenty of time to meet and talk in more detail, and eat free pizza.
Absolutely, no, and it's definitely a really good time, guys. I definitely recommend it if you are in the Miami area. It's definitely worthwhile. Every time they do a meetup, the speaker list or the panel list is absolutely insane. But anyways, Opti, it's everyone's favorite time of the show. Let's go to the meme review. Daily meme review.
Brought to you by Bitbox 2 Bitcoin Only Edition, a hardware wallet by Shift Crypto. Crypto like cryptography. It's secure, it's open source, and it's so easy your mom can set it up. Self-custody is the revolution, and the Bitbox makes it simple. Do not leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. Order a Bitbox today. Let's go.
Bro, every time I watch that, I just want to buy a new Bitbox, bro. God damn.
Dude, high energy, high energy. All right, guys, of course, drop your meme review score in the chat so we can read them for you guys. And also, as Nico always says, tweets are the bullets, but memes are the artillery out there, guys. I say it all the time. It is our meme world, and everyone else is living in it. And it's further proof to me all the time that we are winning this propaganda war. We are winning this information war. And it's like Nico made a meme that I think should get more traction. We are out memeing them because we are out truthing them. And this is uncontentious. Anyways, let's get into the memes today, guys. This first one is by Lena Sisha, and she goes, inflation relief packages, and we got, the little hodlers, and it looks like they're in a pool of dollars, and it goes, I'm really worried about inflation. And the other little hodler goes, I heard the government is working on a solution. And the solution, Miss Cantillon just dumping more money into the sea of dollars, making the money printer go burr, stealing your life force from you well, how do they frame it? This is for your benefit, citizen. We are printing to help you guys, when in reality, they are stealing your wealth. This next one is by Toxicat27, and I really love this meme. Apparently, there was some, someone created this really awesome Dori Nakamoto riding a honey badger, and it goes into this Metro Banks, you can't defeat me. And Bitcoin Twitter goes, I know, but he can. And it's Dorian Nakamoto riding the honey badger. Perfect. I love it. This one goes out to all my friends. I like to jokingly call them jaded Bitcoiners, because I know how it is. There's a certain point where you just are tired of orange pilling people because they don't listen, and you just feel like it's wasted energy. But I just want to double down and tell you guys, it's not wasted energy to, orange pill a person that is curious and willing to learn. Do not just be a jaded Bitcoin out there. It's upon us to spread the sound money gospel, to spread the signal, because the world needs to know that Bitcoin is the solution. Fix the money, fix the world. Anyways, we got a pendulum ticker. I'm pretty sure, I forget what it's called, but it's for when you make music. It's a timing thing. It goes, oh my God, I must tell everyone I know about Bitcoin so they can protect themselves from the imminent financial disaster. And then the other side's fuck them. I know you guys feel that. You get into Bitcoin, you fall down the rabbit hole, and you try to tell everyone. And then after a certain point, everyone thinks you're retarded. And you're just like, yeah, fuck them. Like, I don't need to tell you guys anything. But I want to tell you guys, continue to orange pill, continue to spread the sound money gospel. Do not just be a jaded Bitcoiner. And then this one's by my boy Wine. We posted on Kindergarten. I didn't even see him post this, but it blew up over the weekend. I don't even think it's his meme, so we're just stealing memes out here. But I've been saying this for a while, and we got one guy, P Brain Normie, and he goes, we need to vote for better leaders. And then the Bitcoiner, fix the money, fix the world. This is what we tell you guys all the time.
Dude. Okay, guys. Real talk right now, all right? The only vote that truly matters is taking Bitcoin into self-custody. Never forget that.
Bars. Okay, the next one, this is by Johnny Mnemonic, or Great Satisfaction. He goes, they wanted the world, but they don't understand #Bitcoin. And this is from, I forget what movie this is, but it's a really good movie. And he goes, what if we use 100% of the brain? And Morgan Freeman goes, you'd start buying Bitcoin. This is the perfect meme for Awaken the Lion, guys. You need to make sure that you are using all your capabilities and facilities to spread the sound money gospel. And then my boy Zach sent me this as inspiration for the Awaken the Lion thumbnail, and I had to add it because it's just a further pin on everything I've been saying today. And we got a group of lions with laser eyes, and they go, surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. And I couldn't agree with this more, guys. It gets dark and lonely out there. I had a conversation with one of my friends that I met through Bitcoin Kindergarten, and he basically said the same thing, like, yo, it gets dark and lonely out here. And I just told him, like, look, bro, like, double down, stay positive, surround yourself with awesome Bitcoiners, because this is the way. You need to have a tribe of verified Bitcoiners around you that you know will stand by your side and build with you guys, because there's a lot of normies out there. There's a lot of people that don't get Bitcoin. And it's up to us, the intolerant minority, the Bitcoiners, to change this world. So you need to double down on the positivity, and you need to build a group of people around you that you know will withstand tyranny and authoritarianism at all costs, because I fundamentally believe we've gotten to a point where there's no going back. And for my meme review score, I'm running out of things on my table, so I will bring more stuff. I have my Kroger reward points card.
All right, well, Yellow's been staying at my house for the last 2 months, so he's, I guess, part of the show. He's going to make a regular appearance on the meme review, that's for sure. Yellow ate this already, but it's a half-eaten thing of brownies.
Jeez.
I think he only eats sugar. It explains a lot. Anyway, Shay, what would you give those memes?
Well, I'm going to use some tennis balls. I don't know if you can see these, but if we go one by one, I can do it. But yeah. But I don't know what I can't remember. They were great. There were some really good ones.
Good scores from awesome memes. All right, guys, you know the drill. Rate the meme in the live chat, and we will review them. First one by Red Rope, rating those memes. Opti's sweaty hoodie. Opti's wearing a T-shirt. A represent T-shirt.
I told him in the spaces that I'm fighting a cold, and I sweat through like 3 hoodies last night.
Z Logic, I give those memes a Neo inside Agent Smith right before exploding him into 1,000 pieces. Woof. If you know, you know. That's a great meme. Next one, I give those memes some free and open source hardware. Very nice. And Yellow, how the fuck did you type that? You're right next to me. Yellow gives it a nice Hello Kitty keychain. All right. Good scores. Anyways, guys, rate the memes for anybody else. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Also want to give a very special shout out to Simply Bitcoin's awesome Telegram group. You could join it by going to www.t.me/the Simply Bitcoin group. That's where you could, the Simply Bitcoin channel. That's where you could link us awesome memes, and we will try to review them on the meme review. But anyways, Opti, there was a software release today. Let's check it out. Bitcoin software release brought to you by CipherSafe. Don't be that person that stores their Bitcoin seed on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage, dog attacks, everything. Your seed could be eaten by dogs or cats or animals if you store it on paper. You definitely want to store your seed on steel, and there's no better place to do it than the CipherSafe. Get yourself a Cipher wheel or a Cipher grid today. Visit ciphersafe.io.
Let's go, guys. Okay, so today's software release, brain fart, is BTCD version 0.23.1 beta release. I'm not going to read all these updates, but look at this long list of updates that they're fixing over there for BTCD. Amazing, amazing. As we continue to tell you guys, Bitcoiners build in the bear market, so shouts out to everyone still building. And of course, if you like what we're doing, listen to us on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. And of course, if you think we're providing you guys value, we are on Fountain app and you can stream us some sats. Love you guys. It's been a good Monday. I hope you guys have a good Labor Day. Go hang with your family, eat some steak, get some sun. Rope, I will get some rest. Thank you, bro.
All right, guys, before we go, I want to give a very special shout out to our clothing sponsor, representltd.com. Opti and I wear the hoodies every single day. I'm wearing, look at that. It's a giant fucking grenade. It's badass. They make Simply Bitcoin merch. He's making Simply Bitcoin merch. He makes Bitcoin merch. And you can take advantage of the promo code down below in the video description to get 10% off representltd.com. I also want to give a very special shout out to our awesome guest, Shay. Thank you so much for joining us on Simply Bitcoin. Where could people find more about you?
I'm at Shay Coker on Twitter.
Awesome. And if people really want to go to the conference, the Bitcoin meetup in Miami, where could they find out more about that?
Just go to Meetup and type in meetup.com and type in Miami Bitcoin or Bitcoiners. Either one. You'll find us.
Awesome, Shay. Thank you so much for joining us on Simply Bitcoin today. All right, guys, that was the show. If you enjoyed the show, you know, the number one thing you could do to help Simply Bitcoin is share this video. Get the truth out. Orange pill people. Get people to take self-custody. If enough people take self-custody, we win this revolution. There's absolutely nothing they can do about it. Also, if you really enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. And of course, if you really find this valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe. And of course, guys, we don't stop. We are big believers in proof of work. We will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.